Welcome back, Trash and Talk here today. Big news coming from New York City about the brown pail. The brown pail is causing a lot of hysteria in New York City.
Not in Jersey.
People are going fucking bananas over it, and we're going to dig into it and see what we can get out of it.
I think I should turn it into a beer cooler. It makes sense to me.
Well, we'll get into that. All right, people, get ready. Let's talk trash.
We got the trash. We got the trash. Yeah, we got the trash. We got the trash. Our trash is a treasure. We got the trash. We got the trash. It's the Raccoon Kings are your treasure. So listen to our trash. So listen to our trash.
Welcome back, Trash and Talk. Today's episode, we're going to dig into the new brown pails popping up all over New York City. This whole compost thing has caused a real mess, Kurt.
A ruckus.
And people are losing their minds.
People are misinformed. People are pissed off. And they're writing tickets like crazy right now in Staten Island, I'll tell you that much.
And listen, to be honest, it's always been like that with everything for the city. We've spoken about that with the recycling. Like, they give you a little sticker and to put on the pail.
Yeah.
It falls off within a week. It's the same kind of thing. They give out a brochure. These people don't read it. They don't care for this.
No, I don't think our generation gives a shit about it like my mom and your mom years ago. They would put the sticker on a pail. But as a homeowner and you're our age, I just used to hand them out to people.
Yeah, no. That's the thing.
Like,
we used to give them out.
Yeah.
I would always keep like a bunch of them in the truck and hand them out to people. Say, this is what, because people would ask me all the time.
Yeah, you have stickers.
You know? But, the generation that we live in now, New York City generates a large amount of food waste, with households contributing 54% and the restaurant business doing 20%.
Yeah, a significant part of it ends up in landfills anyway.
Well, of course. But the thing is, they wind up bringing it to landfills after the fact. So just to let everybody know, real quick, where they bring this compost is on the landfill in New York City.
Yes. There's probably one in each borough.
So if you hear someone say, or even us, oh, yeah, it goes to the landfill.
Yeah.
A portion of it, we're not talking about it's going to the Staten Island landfill, people, just so you know. Just want to inform you is that there is a location on the landfill prior to, like, before you go in to dump the garbage, there's a little location where they dump the food waste.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's where the magic happens.
The food waste and the compost smells horrendous.
It's awful. So if you grew up on Staten Island, you remember the years of the UA theater.
Yes, that's right.
And it smelled like dog shit.
Yep.
Like, it was disgusting going to the movies.
That's what it smells like now. Again.
So the smell's back.
Yeah.
And
it's back.
Yeah, exactly. And the big thing is, like you say, people are misinformed. So there is a location. They're bringing their food scraps.
Mm-hmm.
I did this for probably the last 3-4 years of my career. I was on it probably 3-4 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
We were the pilot program for New York to, in Staten Island 1 to run this. It was only 2 sections, so it wasn't the whole Staten Island 1. I remember them handing out these little brown pails, and literally people were throwing those pails in the garbage pail.
Yeah.
So you would be on garbage then and open it, and there's a brown pail in there.
Yeah, nobody wanted any part of
it. Nobody wanted anything to do with it. It's typical New York. Don't bother me. I do my thing, and that's it. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Because they knew eventually it would come to this, like you said, with the tickets and all the nonsense.
It's bad right now, I'm telling you.
Yeah, and now that was the pilot program. Kurt, if I could tell you, and it was the same houses too. You would get Little Miss Mary down on the block on the dead end. You would have to back up for that one pail, and it had 2 eggs in it, eggshells.
Now you were scaling in how much tonnage?
Oh, if it wasn't leaf season, like summer, like the winters, we were doing maybe 0.10. Like there were routes that we went out. Well, we were going on the full 25 yarders. We would not even fill the hopper. You never cycle the truck. Like literally, you could just fill up all the whole route in the back of the truck and never dump it. We used to back blade the truck up. That you never dump the truck.
That's crazy.
So, and then you got into like leaf season. You're going to get tree branches. You're going to, during the summer, people are doing gardening.
Yeah.
So, of course, the normal people that were doing it on a weekly basis with the food scraps, we're going to do that too. They were saving the earth. They were really doing their part. Kudos to you, but you didn't do shit.
Yeah, so 3, we never even worried about that when I was there. It never happened.
No, and when the leaf season came in, it was a motherfucker. Because, your little tit, job of picking up 1 ton a week, even in the worst of it, say 2 tons a week, total, on all 6 routes. Now you're doing 6 tons per day because you're picking all the leaves up.
See, which doesn't make sense to me because what about the leaf Sundays and stuff like that?
Well, that's how they took our leaf Sundays away and took our money away, to be honest. That's what they did.
Leaf Sundays at all?
No, you don't get leaf Sundays no more. Only in 11 and 12 section because they didn't have compost.
So now that there's compost.
In 13 and 14.
No, but now it's a whole.
Leaf Sundays are out.
Leaf Sundays are over.
So guys just lost the easiest, I'm not going to say the amount of money that we made, the easiest nice tit money Sunday. Unless it was like the night we had to go out or the day we went out on leaf Sundays and we were literally people shoveling leaves into the back of the truck because we couldn't find the leaves.
Yeah.
And you have to get a certain amount of leaves.
You got to get a certain weight.
You got to get weight. We were cleaning people's property. We were looking for leaves.
Yeah, to finish.
But what were you going to say? Sorry to cut you off.
So the problem that I have with that part of it, with the leaves getting turned into all of this compost and all the stuff that's going on right now is the majority of the people, I would say a good 60% are throwing the leaves in bags, right?
Exactly.
Here's another problem I have. That brown pail that we talk about that everybody had to get, that brown pail, they tell you to line it with a plastic bag. Now, when all this stuff is going through the mulching process, that machine, the plastic's getting put in with that, right? So that's
real quick. No. So when we did leaves, there was a guy there ripping bags open, cutting bags open. When we dumped, there was a worker on the landfill where we dumped the leaves for the food waste, slicing the bags. That company that does that, because the city don't run that, just so everybody knows. The city does not run the compost. We don't have our men there.
No, but what I'm saying is...
It's a private company.
They want you right now. Yeah,
to put plastic in it.
To line it with a plastic bag.
So the bags that they give you, those blue, pink, whatever bag they gave you with that brown pail, and by the way, you got a box of it, you're not getting any more.
Yeah.
Just a little, FYI.
Yeah.
Those are compostable plastic bags.
Oh, okay.
Dude, we used to grab them out. We used to throw. The food would go everywhere. They would rip so easily. Yes.
Because I wondered, so then where are you going to... I guess they have them...
You could buy them. They're compost bags. Yes. I knew where they were hiding them. I used to get a few for people. But anyway.
You're a good guy.
Yeah, listen. If I knew 6 people that did compost, of all the people I knew, why not help them? They're actually doing it. And nothing against everybody else that didn't do it. I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying, I'll help them. Why make them go buy bags when they're actually doing what they want to do and, saving the earth?
So I'm going to start the process. I'm going to buy Ziploc bags to put all my compostable food.
So you can't use Ziploc bags. They're not compostable, bro.
Well, I got to keep... In the house, I'm going to have something separate then.
Yeah, you use that.
This?
Yeah.
So those are 3-gallon?
Maybe 5.
Yeah.
They don't fit the cans.
I was just looking at how much liners are for 500.
Oh yeah, they're not cheap. It's big business, people. Let's be honest, Kurt. This is all about fucking money.
Oh, God.
It has nothing to do with anything else. Think about this, right? Just to go back real quick, and I'll get to what I was going to say. With the Sundays, with the leaf Sundays, where I live, I could blow all my leaves into the street for that first pickup, the initial pickup. The second pickup, they don't do that now. Now they're going to send guys out and they're going to pick up the bags by hand.
Brown bags.
Well, you have to put it in brown bags. Little info, they still have the same fucking front end loaders that pick up the shit, picking the bags up now. It's not like guys are going like we was swinging bags in.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's all about money. They just, who's getting money, who's getting handed shit that now they got to pay for bags. They got to pay for the pails. It's crazy. But to get back to the point of the bags. So when we collected leaves, they would put them in black bags for years.
Yes.
Take the black bags. Okay, no problem. But when we collected leaves, we were dumping it with garbage before we lost the leaf Sundays. For the most part, we weren't dumping it in a certain location where they were doing something with it. So that's why
there was a compost location for Sundays.
Yeah,
remember
but
you had to go into that other area.
I don't remember that. I remember just dumping it in the regular area.
No.
But when did this come about? When that company came in? I'm talking before the composting came in on the right hand side of the dump.
That was always where the compost went. The leaf Sundays.
I don't know. Maybe then I forget. I'm getting old.
No, that's always where we went, to that right side. You had to go on that rickety scale, and then you opened up on the floor, on the ground, and then you came out or whatever.
So that company then was whoever was doing it, because like I said, it's not our people.
Maybe now it's not our people.
Back then it was.
When it was just leaf Sundays, before all this other shit came into play.
Yeah, when food waste
scraps and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's different entity.
Yeah,
it's a private company. I was friendly with the guy on the front end loader. He would laugh when he would come in. He would put the bucket up to the back of the truck, like I said,
and just backblade.
Just so I would backblade it right in. So
that's crazy.
But no, so like I said, it's all about money. You remember the retired buildings in the landfill?
Yes.
Like what they call it, Location 2 or whatever.
Yeah,
Plant 2.
Plant 2, I know.
Dude,
I've been in those buildings.
I walked in there with a boss. It was bananas. There were thousands upon thousands of those brown pails. So this has been a while. I'm retired 5 years.
Yeah.
Stacked to the ceiling.
Yeah.
It looked like an army. It reminded me of like Star Wars.
Did they take you to the bathroom when the guy killed himself?
No. Well, that actually, I might have been in that bathroom because that's where they were trying to move us.
There's a ton of stalls in that bathroom.
Yes, they were trying to move us to that location. They were like, how much do you think it's going to cost? Because I was doing construction at the time.
I walked through that whole building when I was doing security, when I got hurt.
Yeah.
When I was at the annex.
It's a dump.
I went up to the top, to that little tower that overlooks the water.
Yeah.
I guess that was the guy that guided in the barges and stuff. There was still magazines and stuff from when there was guys in there.
Yeah, they never left.
Nah, like they never left.
And they'll just refab it. We spoke about this. The city will just put new lights in and say, all right, guys, you're ready to go. But we're veering off. So these brown pails, they've had them for years.
Yeah.
And the problem is we're eventually going to bring it back. The situation turns when certain people at the top leave. No, the commissioner.
Okay.
Once the commissioner changed, once that Garcia left, that was her baby.
Well, that was her jump off into politics.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like everybody that comes into, and it's all the commissioners for every job, they all have that one inkling that they want to get done.
Yeah.
It's mine, it's mine, it's mine.
Yeah.
Well, it's all bullshit. Because once they leave, they fucking scrap it.
Yeah.
A little fun on words there. They just scrap it. And that's it. It's done. And now the next person comes in, because I think that last commissioner didn't last much.
No, she wasn't that long.
And then they bring it back.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a headache because now it falls on the guys, and we'll get to that. But yeah, this whole thing in New York, though, with the landfill, with the greenhouse gas emissions, they're saying somehow food waste can help that, which I don't understand. I mean, I know it's a big contributor to it, but they're saying somehow using the compost can cut it down, which, like, I guess taking it out. That's what they're saying. Like, taking it out of the landfill, it will cut that emissions down. The social issue thing, I don't fucking get. There's many big words there, Kurt. I can't even.
Food waste also exasperates social issues like food insecurity, as millions of tons of food are wasted while many people struggle to access food. So what are they trying to say? That because all this food's getting thrown out, the people that can't afford food, that are starving, are upset about it? It's giving them social anxiety?
Yeah, well, maybe.
They're watching all this food get thrown out or dumped. Yeah.
Well, maybe they should go to the landfill. Maybe they should set like a supermarket up there, and I come dump, and then you sell it, to the people.
Well,
Get the people the food. But then again, I found a quick note out while I was doing all this research. So it's funny that, when you go in a supermarket, right? And just say, like, I'm a salad guy now because of all the heart issues, right? So say there's a thing of cucumbers, a thing of lettuce, a thing of this, a tomatoes, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. So I was watching this thing, and you always say, like, where the fuck does all this food go?
Yeah.
Like, if it goes bad in my fridge in a week, this whole place is just going to throw all this out? No. So what it is in that day that it's a week where it would go spoiled in your fridge, they chop all that shit up. Now you buy it as a salad.
As a mixed salad in the bag?
No, a mixed salad, like if you go in the supermarket. Say you go to Wegmans.
Yeah.
You're a ritzy guy. You go to Wegmans, right? And you have you go to the buffet area and there's salad. That's all from there.
That's the
chicken's going bad.
The week-old chicken.
Bro, chicken's going bad. They cut it. They cook it. Yes.
Yeah. Flip it. Rub it down.
Yes. No. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is what got me into this, like really searching into this. And it makes sense though. Because think about it. If the chicken's going to go bad by this date, right? Next week, if they cook it, now you have another 2-3 days
of it,
to sell it in a salad.
It makes sense.
When you walk in a supermarket, it has prepared chicken, marsala, or chicken.
So it's a last-ditch effort.
Exactly. Yeah. So and at that point, they tried. Money. Well, not even that. Now they're going to make more money.
Yeah, they're recouping.
Because the chicken now is selling for 3 times as much. Right? But I didn't know that. So that's a whole nother thing. I do get with like the restaurants and all that, like, what do they do? But they say the same thing. So if today's special is, or they have all this food left over, well, guess what's the special on Friday night?
Octopus salad.
They have a ton of octopus. It's going to be octopus something.
Yeah.
If it's chicken, they got a ton of chicken laying over. There's going to be a chicken dinner. Yeah. Like, they're going to push it one way or the other. So I do get that with the social issues. It's just, I guess I'm fortunate enough to always have food. Maybe some point in my life I'll be eating out of a dumpster, but you never know.
I didn't have food.
Well, you just got to stop eating certain foods.
All right.
You're the one that brought it up.
I know.
The 2 contributing factors, the household waste. It's an average of 8.4 pounds of food per week. I throw out more than that.
Well, because all food scraps that are supposed to go in that brown pail are bones, shells, meats, and dairy. I had no idea that all that stuff goes in that pail. I never would have thought that. I swear to God, I never would have thought that any of that stuff. But food scraps, right? That's food scraps.
Yeah.
I thought it was more like the potato skins, the orange peels, stuff like that. I thought was what they were talking about.
Banana
I didn't know they were
peels,
actually talking about bones, shells, meat, and dairy.
Any food.
Prepared and cooked foods all go in that.
Yeah.
That's gotta stink.
Oh, you mean
disgusting.
You don't scrape it into the kitchen sink and just
No. That's what Wayne's job.
For fuck's sake.
Sounds like Wayne.
So, but the thing to that, like you just said, in the summers, it was disgusting.
It has
to be. Those pails,
because
nobody would clean them out. I'm in the middle of some of the worst neighborhoods. Like you think, and the people are doing it.
Wesley was horrible.
But, dude, I found crazy shit in there. People's sneakers, like they were just filling it with garbage.
Sneakers are good.
They're not compost. No,
do something with it.
What the fuck is wrong with you people? No, but commercial waste, restaurants, caterers, and other commercial entities also they contribute to it as well. And
after you prove that point, I just want to read this off because to me, I am shocked. I didn't know that all this stuff. Like I was just telling Jazzy about it. So this is what you need to know. This is what is going in that brown pail because 95% of us have no idea. This is everything. All leaves and yard waste, including grass, flowers, twigs, and Christmas trees. All food scraps, including bone, shells, meat, and dairy. Prepared and cooked foods. Food soiled paper, including the napkin. When you wipe your face, when you had the sauce, that's going in there. Tea bags going in there, something that you love. Plates, paper plates.
Love a good tea bag.
Paper plates that are soiled go in there. Coffee filters and greasy pizza boxes. And anything labeled combustible. So those plates that you were talking about, you could buy combustible. Don't have to be soiled.
Combustible. What the fuck? We're putting grenades out in the fucking
Compostable.
landfill? Jesus
Compostable.
Christ.
They probably, you know what? If they're out in the sun, they might go on fire.
Yeah.
If there's a drought.
Jesus Christ. You're going to have people putting bottles of gasoline in there.
That's what they're going to do. But like you said, there's stuff that's labeled compostable. You could buy compostable plates. I never knew that.
You like that word?
Yes. But I never knew that. So even if that plate's not soiled, that's going in there. Correct?
Yeah. I mean, some of these people look like, honestly, when I would pick it up, it would look like the thing was at the end of the fucking table. And they would just push everything in and just push it all in and then put it out to the curb.
So,
The plates
I don't think
still
the
have
pail's gonna
food
be
on
big
it.
enough.
No, and that's the problem. They give you a pail that's, 2.5 feet by, 8 inches wide to pick this stuff up. Pizza box, boom, you're done.
just a real side, if it was combustible, you could burn it and fit it all in that pail.
Yeah, well, we're going to try not to do that. Because combustible, like I said,
we're
you're
gonna have all
leaving
this
bombs on the street.
Yeah, people.
And we don't need
breathing
that
in,
anymore.
And yeah, next
Got
thing
enough
I know,
issues in New York with that
somebody
shit.
can't breathe.
But no, there's millions of tons of food being wasted. 100% we get it. The city, once again, does not come up with a good enough plan.
No.
You could go on Twitter, you could go on TikTok, you could go on all these fucking places and put all this shit out. You're not informing the people. Stop putting these stupid glitz and glamour. They got a cartoon character of like a guy that goes in a suit that bounces around in a brown pail for the people. Yeah. That's not what they should be doing. They should be putting money and time into telling the people what should be in there.
That's what we're doing.
We're trying to educate them. Yes, we're trying to educate people, which I get. The problem is they don't do it, and we shouldn't be doing this. You're trying to light the whole fucking place on fire.
How do you fit a Christmas tree in there?
Twig by twig.
You got to break it down.
Let me tell you, we'll get back to it. The grass, oh my God, you can never get it out of the pail. The winters were brutal because people would throw shit in there, would freeze. It was crazy. It was like a bowling ball, and that pail hurts like a motherfucker. I got bruises all over my legs from it.
So,
because I'm tall, people. I'm fucking tall.
The tree is just going to be put out to the side.
My body,
like normal, like you would with a tree trunk. I would assume, right?
But they're not doing tree pickup.
Yes.
I guess that's all. I guess everything's
No. They'll still do a tree pickup, but like you said, we were talking before this, and Kurt had said now they do. The compost only gets picked up, whatever, every day, but it's in a different location.
The compost always gets picked up
once a week
on the recycling day.
Yes.
The recycling day.
They have the split body trucks, which there's 2 compartments for two entities. So you would have garbage on the right-hand side because it's a little bigger, and smaller side would get these little pails.
Food waste.
I mean, honestly, people, this is the pail they give you. Put a banana peel in here. It's a wrap. Yeah, that's about it. Breaking news. This just in. Nick the Balloonatic is on the prowl. He is now warning everyone about the rat infestation that will not be in the streets and sewers anymore. There will be no splinters, no Ninja Turtles. They are coming to your home. Be careful, be safe. Food waste for life. But no, that's causing more issues too. Like we had spoke, now they're leaving bulk all over the street. Staten Island's going to look like fucking Beirut soon.
It already does.
It's disgusting.
It already does. There's bulk everywhere. And the problem that they're having, you know how it is on that job. So now you get the second pickup is the regular garbage pickup.
Yeah.
And all the bulk is there, plus all that garbage. And you get bombarded. You can't get it all. So there's stuff out on the streets. They're not cleaning.
Where are they putting these pails? You don't have any room in Staten Island to begin with. Now you have a third pail you have to take care of. Like most households have 2 garbage, 1 recycling. Now they'll have, right?
Yeah. You have to have that. Yeah.
So everybody's got an army of pails out in front of their house, and it's just more shit to fly around the neighborhood, complain. Although you can't lose those lids. Those lids, whoever made those pails,
break it.
Oh, they don't break. Though whoever made those fucking pails should be the pail maker for America.
Yeah.
Whoever planned that pail, You cannot break that goddamn pail. You know how many pails?
I
Because
believe
in the
it was-
winter,
I believe it was the DuPont
slamming
company.
it on the fucking that thing
It's got
never
flip
broke.
it.
Well, the
Flip
story behind
Whacked
that
in
pail.
the head.
The story behind that pail is they got 10 retired sanitation workers, DuPont, and they pulled them to the side and they asked, "What do you think? What would make a pail sturdy and the lid not break off?" And that's how DuPont designed it from retired sanitation workers. What?
I smell bullshit.
It could be. It could be like the cat litter story.
But let me explain this
It could
much.
be like cat litter story.
Yeah, but that's the way this world should work. The people who do the job should be asked these questions, not some,
course.
stuck up jerk off who has no idea what will and what won't work.
Yeah.
Because many pails have broken our hands over the time, but these pails do not break. They don't break. But to get back to, them giving you a pail, I remember picking up and I would be on garbage just saying I'm not on food waste that day. I would open the lid to somebody's garbage pail and there would literally be the food waste pail would be in the garbage. And the person, I would put it out back on the curb,
That's something I would do.
give it back to them, and they're like, get this thing out of here.
Yeah, I don't want
So
it.
I would collect them. And then the people I knew that did it, I would give them to.
Yeah.
I had one brother-in-law that he had a few of them. And when you went to a party, there were a few cocktails in there.
The buds are in that brown one.
Yeah.
The Coors Lights are in that brown one.
But at least somebody was using it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'm not going to throw them in the
Well, at
garbage.
that point, Wayne, what you're talking about, that was the beginning of it. There was really nobody even cared. Nobody knew.
No, you weren't getting
There was
summonses and
two
stuff.
sections in Staten Island on the North Shore. There's 3 districts, 3 garages. One garage had it in 2 of their sections, which means they had 4 sections that covered the whole area.
Yeah.
Only half the garage was doing it on that one garage. So
Exactly.
nobody cared about it.
But there was 6 people that
in
cared.
all of New York City,
6 people cared. The 6 guys on those trucks.
I can't believe it lasted
Because
that
it was
long.
a joke. It was a fucking waste of money. I remember being on the landfill where
What
they
isn't a
dumped
waste of
this, and all the big chiefs were there. The commissioner was there. What the fuck is his name? All the guys that I knew. I wasn't super friendly with them, but I knew who they were. There was 15 people out there, right? And as I'm dumping, he's looking at me, and I'm like, I can't dump anymore. That's all I got. What I brought here is what I brought here. And he's like, Wayne, that's all you're getting? I said, that's it.
I didn't even think about this. What did this cost the city in extra split bodies?
Well, the manpower. You got to realize, what are the guys making picking garbage up now? $75
But
a
not
day?
only that, they had to buy a certain amount of fucking split bodies,
Well, yeah, of course.
right? Because now all your split bodies pretty much just filled your recycling trucks. Always with split bodies, you barely had enough.
Always Bailey. You
Barely had
were
enough.
jockeying trucks all
Yeah,
over
yeah.
Staten Island.
So now you had to buy, if there's, I don't know, on the heavy day of the week of that district,
You got to get a bunch more.
you had to get like at least 8 each section.
But they're getting them half price anyway, bro. We always got the
Yeah,
broken
'cause
trucks.
nobody wanted them anyway.
Yeah, exactly. We were getting
Those
all the
were
shit
rejects from
trucks.
the state that
The
nobody
best trucks
wanted.
we had were the CCCs. I'll still go back to it, but that's another day for another
Yeah, without a doubt.
time. But yeah, so the people are starting to fight back now because they're writing the summonses.
They're writing a lot of
I
summonses.
spoke to a boss on the job. He's a good friend of mine. And this is what he told me. And I would tell the public, I don't care. I'm not going to say his name. They're going to pull over to your house and write a summons if you do not have the pail out. If I were you, I would put a brick in the pail and just fucking leave it there all goddamn week.
So what you're saying is, if you don't have that pail out, they're gonna target you. Come in, go through.
You're
your stuff.
targeted.
They're gonna rip open your shit.
Targeted.
See, that's where I thought.
And the guys are doing it. So that never happened when we did
what
it.
guys are doing it?
The sand workers are being told to go through the fucking garbage.
fuck outta here.
Swear to God, that's
I
what
would
he's
never.
telling me. He said
That'll
that's,
never happen.
But that's what I'm saying. The guys are fighting about it.
Yeah.
But because that was never on us, people. You got to realize something. You could yell at your garbage man all you want. Yes, is there a fine line of what we should and what we shouldn't take? Yes, 100%. We're only supposed to take household garbage. We've reiterated this 1,000 times. But when you have concrete or building material and stuff like that, you want to do the right thing. You want to say thank you. You want to come out and help. most of the guys will take it.
Yeah.
Right or wrong. Like,
Yeah.
but if you put the shit out like a jerk off, we're not going to take it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to this now, like anytime we would never say like, hey, go write so-and-so house a ticket. They got fucking all this shit out. No, we didn't care. You would just not take it.
Yep.
Just say, right? You just wouldn't care for it.
Yeah.
But now this is turning into, this foreman told me
That's insane.
that they have to.
That's insane.
Because now there's the enforcement agents who are a different entity of sanitation. They may have sanitation enforcement on it.
Let's let that be known.
They have nothing to do with us.
People are like, oh, they came and write tickets. I go, no. The sanitation didn't write the ticket. I said, a foreman that's covering a section, the last thing he wants to do is write out 50 tickets on a block.
Let's tell the truth about it. You know who the foreman write? Businesses.
Yeah.
They have to get 5 summonses, 10 summonses a month. They go for businesses that don't clean
or
their
some
sidewalks.
obnoxious thing going on with
Of
construction.
course. But for the most part, those guys would do businesses. And people, you got to understand something. You could say they target the same businesses. They target businesses.
They clean your
But
your shit
clean
up.
the front of your business. You shouldn't have garbage laying all over the place. So
it's the same thing as a meter maid for the police department has nothing to do with a cop. Sanitation enforcement has nothing to do with a supervisor in a cottage. Everybody gets confused because they see him driving around in a car that has sanitation.
Yeah.
It's a total different
So I'll bring you to a story. And it was funny because Mike Coco, I love you, bro. I miss
Coco
you.
wants
We gotta
to
talk.
come on a podcast and change my packing, he said.
Yeah, he'll come and change your underwear. That guy, he's out of his fucking mind.
That's what he said.
Yeah, he's shot. So anyway,
Commented on TikTok.
But I love him to death. We had a lot of fun together. So, but on his
Guy
street,
built his pool by hand.
Pelton Avenue, Oh yeah, he did. No, I ain't telling you that story. So those were some of my heaviest loads, the heaviest days. No, so on Pelton Avenue, on his street, we were picking up. I knew all my customers. I call them customers
I
because
love how he calls them customers. This sounds so corrupt.
No, but in all reality, it was the nice. What am I gonna say? My people. Like I don't have people. I got 2 people I made. That's it.
On your routes.
They're on my routes, right? My people's on my routes.
People's on my routes.
So anyway, this enforcement guy, Haitian dude, I don't remember his name. I almost got locked up. Here's the story.
I got to start my own after yours.
So the story goes, I pull up. This guy's there every week, the same fucking house. And at this time, it wasn't food waste; it was recycling.
Okay.
So I see him writing another summons, and I asked him. He had gotten back into the car, pulled up, his window was down. I got real close, so he couldn't open the door. So I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I said, are you just coming to the same fucking house every week? What the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, I'm just doing my job. I said, fuck you, fuck your job. So I started yelling at him, and he starts trying to get out of the car. So I start kicking through the window at him, like I'm trying to punch him, like kick him in the face. So whatever, Mike calms us down. He's like, let's get out of here. So we drive away. He drives away. Turns out my boss, Fasano, calls me and says, hey, you got to come in the office.
Did he call you a hoople?
No, he said that guy was a hoople. But calls me in the office. He's like, listen, the guy wants to have you locked up. I'm like, for what? I didn't touch him. I was just, imagining like Kung Fu kicking him.
Yeah.
I didn't actually kick him.
Well, everybody's Kung Fu fighting.
Exactly. So needless to say, they went into the logs. That guy wrote a ticket there every week for 6 months straight.
Because he was targeting
the same fucking person.
Because he targeted him.
So I said, this is the problem. I said, and there were other good enforcement. This is one bad one. I had the 2 Spanish women. I forget their names. They were awesome. Hey, Wayne, you're here. No, I'm not going to bother you. I know you tell your people what to do. Don't worry about it. And she'll leave and pull away. I didn't know this was your block. So it's the people, they're not jerk-offs. They're just doing their job. I hate to say it, but they have nothing to do with sanitation.
No, that's all we're trying to get out there.
I didn't get locked up.
Don't get mad at them. I had a run-in with a guy giving tickets on my block. On my block that I lived on. And he was there one day. And I pulled up in the garbage truck because there was a point that I did my own route.
Yeah.
And I said to the guy, are you out of your fucking mind writing tickets here?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, I'm doing my job. I go, I live here. That's my house.
Well, he didn't know. Give the guy a break.
I go, I don't want to see you here ever again. He goes, what do you mean? I go, because if I stop home after the route because I'm in the area.
You're going to get jammed up.
Now that you're writing all these tickets for bullshit, literal bullshit,
They're coming after you.
There's going to be pictures taken of my truck. Why is this garbage truck in front of this house? Why? Because I wanted to take a poop.
Yeah, but I mean,
At home.
that's a real John Gotti move, bro.
Well,
You're really like, that's typical Staten Island South Shore,
They're
though.
not sanitation workers?
no.
Nope. They have nothing to do with
No, it's
us.
the same thing as a meter reader, like for the PD.
They have nothing to do with us.
They might have an NYPD
Now, we have-
like a patch.
Now,
Wear the same uniforms.
No,
No.
it's different. It's
no,
different.
the ones that do, so that's not enforcement. That's, what was his name? We do have an enforcement. Like the guy carries a gun, can't use it.
Yeah.
But that's like more for illegal dumping
That's
and
for
that
like
stuff.
dumping and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
that has nothing to do with that guy ain't going through pails.
PPED or P something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called.
The police, the sand police, sand
yeah.
cops, they
Yeah.
call them.
Jerry, my cousin worked.
First day on the
day
on the job, we're out of Randall's Island. They're like, "Hey, anybody want to be a sand cop? You get a 9mm." I'm like, "I'm out. No fucking need."
They pulled me right off to the side because of
Because
Jerry's.
you look like John Gotti's nephew.
Because Jerry's. They did say no.
Yeah.
They came up to me, thought I was John Gotti's son.
Motherfucker. Oh, fucking shit, motherfucker.
So he goes.
Oh, Fazools, hey.
So the guy goes, "You're related to Sarai?" I go, "Yeah." They go, "Oh, would you be interested in the sanitation
In helping
police?"
our police
So I
department?
called little Jerry's dad. I call my cousin Jerry, and I go, "What do you think about this? Should I do this?" He goes, "Let me explain to you what's going to happen." He goes, "You're going to go to the PD to find out where you're going to go to the precinct.
They're going to laugh at you.
Where you want to go, and they're going to tell you the dumpster's in the back." He's like, "Don't even, just be a garbage man."
No, it's such a small entity. I knew guys that did it. It wasn't, we don't have thousands of guys.
No.
You have maybe, I think we had one on Staten Island. One guy.
Yeah, I think having
That's all that is. So that has nothing to do with it.
Let's get
So
back on the
enforcement has nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with
Jazzy's
sanitation.
saying, "Wrap it up."
But no, it's the communities have to get together and make this work. To be, they have to organize this. They have to help the people. Maybe get something together. Maybe make a garden in an abandoned lot.
Well, where is all the stuff going? Where is they're making compost, right? So they're making like
They put it in bags and then give it to you for free.
That's what they're doing though.
But then it came out to never use it. Don't use it in food. Don't use it in your gardens. Don't
use it to grow stuff.
Well, no, flowers and plants and stuff like that. You could
No. If I want to, grow a little formica or zucchini.
No. Don't use
What's
it.
the big zucchini called?
Because there's all kinds of guts.
Guguts. If I want to grow guguts,
you don't want to use that kind of stuff. It's not organic.
So it's good
but
for
it
a
is
flower
organic. Garden. Because the thing is, like those organic ones, which really aren't true either, they say that only food scraps are going in.
But you're unlimited. You could go there and take 20 bags.
No, I think like 20 bags and stuff is if you're like a landscaper or something like that.
Okay.
I think they give you 2 per person, from what I understood.
For the whole year?
I don't know if they do a few times a year.
You're breaking your ass separating this stuff, and you can only get 2 bags a year from them?
Whatever it is. I don't know. I don't remember what it was. But it's listen, I don't know the details of everything that they do on that job anymore. I gave up on it. It's just that composting has been going on. They got to turn it. There's so many fucking entities to it. The amount of money that goes into it, there's no way it's actually making any kind of sense. And I guess, granted, it's the emissions thing, right? That's the problem. Like, they want to go back to getting away from the gases that are coming out of the ground.
Okay.
So that's really why they're doing it.
I got you.
And I think there's bigger issues that could help this than, Luis throwing out, banana.
They say they're doing it for renewable energy. Some of the processed materials gas that powers home back free compost and profits.
Yeah, so for
so
like
the
communities.
Parks department and stuff gets it for free and uses it. All right. Yeah. Well, it's saving money. That shit ain't cheap.
Listen.
There's a lot of parks in New York City.
Yes. It's usable. I'm not saying it's not usable. It's just, what they're really putting in those bags? Let's think about it. That bag's just say 40 pounder. Okay. There's probably half an ounce of what you threw in last week.
Listen to me.
For a month. Because there's thousands of leaves, the landscape is, all the shit they dump, they're getting it back.
On the far eastward section of your estate, let's get 1 bag from them, one regular bag.
You talking about my house?
Do an experiment?
And do an experiment. See how the food grows. Like cucumbers, tomatoes. See which grows better.
I mean, listen, I wouldn't eat them.
We could
I'm
do
not
it all
gonna
in that
eat 'em.
section where it's cordoned off.
We could do it in the
that
back.
You don't use.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, where the dead bodies and stuff are back.
We'll test it
no
out,
one knows
people.
what's in that corner.
We'll tell you got to go get it. I can't get it.
I'll,
The smell.
I'll go get it.
No, it's not going to be smell. What are you talking about?
We're gonna put it in the ground.
It's just like anything else. We were putting in the topsoil today. I was putting grass down,
Smell like
and
poopy?
she's like, "Oh, it stinks." I'm like, "Yeah, that's what it is. It's cow manure. It's
Yeah.
all that shit." But
Cow
what's
manure.
this? Food scraps are being processed through anaerobic digestion to produce biogas for energy. What's anaerobic? So they're shoving it. The cows are eating it and then farting and making the gas. How does that work?
The cows eat it.
What the fuck
They
is
fart.
anaerobic?
Anaerobic. I thought
It's like
anaerobic-
animal aerobics.
aerobics. Yeah,
So they got like cows out there doing the 2-step
maybe.
and making gas.
Do
I don't know.
Two-step the cow.
No, so but like I said, with my buddy, he said it's really just becoming an issue, and it's going to become more of an issue between the public and the guys just there to do the good job and pick the garbage up. You know, we dealt with this with recycling a lot.
Yeah.
Take the kids' toys. They're not recycling. Like you would argue with people. It's like,
Yeah.
come on. And then it just came to a point on the job where you're just like, throw the fucking thing in.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Let it just
I
be.
hated arguing.
Why are you going to argue with people? No fights in the street.
A lot of times, the way I looked at it was just throw it in the fucking truck. I want to get the fuck done. That's it.
Well, yeah, but you just didn't want to argue and fight with people.
Yeah, you didn't. It was just I had a lot of good fights out there with people because they were just rude, like treating you like you're an idiot.
Yeah. But the thing is, there's a lot of fighting going on now because they want these guys to pick the garbage up. My thing to you is the public, just put the pail out. Put it out empty. If it's out, they're not going to stop at your house. If it's not out, they're told to go through it. See, recycling was easy when they did this whole program.
Yeah.
Because they would shake the bag. If they heard the plastic or the metal,
Yeah.
you were getting a summons. They didn't even have to go through the bag.
Yeah.
Right? This, you can't hear a banana. Banana's not in there like, banana.
So
Hey.
now you got a guy that's cutting open a bag, right? In the regular garbage pail. Because you didn't put the brown one out.
Yeah,
he
so now
wants,
he
he
wants
wants
to
to
look.
investigate and look. So he cuts that bag, right? Now, he opens it up, he rifles through it, and then he writes you a ticket
And a
leaves.
rat jumps out. Bam!
No,
Dead.
now the sanitation guy comes and instead of dumping the pail, grabs that bag, goes to throw it in, and there's garbage everywhere all over the street.
Yeah, like
Definitely, 100%.
I mean, honestly, that brings me back to the days of you
It's
and
true.
Fisher.
What?
When your nickname.
What?
You guys were Messy Marvin.
I don't know what you're talking
There
about.
was like a fucking tornado up every street. There were pails, garbage, fucking everything all over the street when you guys picked up
If
garbage
you didn't
together.
tie up your...
Messy Marvin, these were these two. Him and Fisher. Fisher, you know, half the shit he would take the top bag. I knew your scheme. Like, I knew what was
Listen,
going on, bro.
Scalping is an art form.
Yeah.
People don't realize that.
I know, it goes all
And
the way
for those
back to the native and
For those
native
people,
Indians.
I'm gonna give the public a little something right now. Okay? Depending on the night, depending on how heavy the route was, there was a good possibility if we didn't think we were gonna get the route on,
Only
we were
half
just-
was getting taken.
we were only taking the top bag out of your pail. So when you came out, you're like, "This son of a bitch only took." There was a reason behind it.
So real quick, Jazzy pulled it up. Microorganisms break down the organic matter. That's what, it's not actually cows doing aerobics. It's anaerobics is the
It's inside
organisms.
inside of what's going on.
The microorganisms.
They're alive.
They break down organic matter in the absence of oxygen, producing biogas. I don't know why. My eyes are bad, but every biogas looks like biggies.
No, it
My eyes
looks
are
like
bad.
biogas.
Yeah, no, well, you got glasses on, bro. I won't put my glasses
The
on.
bifocals.
Yeah.
That's how I know you're getting old.
I think you need thicker glasses. No, so don't yell at the guys, please. You know, I see this thing come out. Scott Lebedo from
Pronounced
Staten Island.
correctly.
Much respect to him. He does a lot of great things. He's a great painter in Staten Island. A son of a Sandman, which, you know, is great. Thank you for the shout
Thank you,
out.
Scott, for the shout out.
You know, for the backing. But, you know, to you, we're not doing it to go against the people. We're the guys aren't doing it to go after anyone. They're getting told to do this. And that job has gotten so micromanaged where we were on, if they told us to do that, we'd pretty much tell them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't do it. Hey, go do this. Go fuck yourself. And we would just pull away. Now,
the fact that they're asking garbage men
to open
up the bags,
which I didn't believe. And I don't think this guy would lie to me. Like, he's a foreman on the job, and I know he's been on the job 25 years. He's not, he's still there. So, Scott, it's nothing personal to you. I'm not attacking you. I just think you know, if you want to go after the white coats, totally different. Those guys at the top are douchebags.
Yeah, well, he said he wasn't going after the sand workers.
No, but the sand workers are going to be the ones going through the fucking garbage. That's the problem.
Well,
that's what they're being told.
Listen, it's up to that sandman to grab his balls and say, fuck you, I'm not going to cut open garbage bags.
But it's a different job. So, and there's a lot of young kids on the job, and they don't want to lose the job, which I get. The job has changed.
There are a lot of probationary kids.
But my thing is, you want to go after the white coats, 100%. They are absolutely, you're 100% right. 92% of them never touched a fucking pail in their entire career. Nothing against them as well. I have a few guys that I'm still friends with on the job. They went different paths. But when they would come in the street and try to tell me how to do the job, I would say to them, fuck you and go fuck yourself. Don't tell me. Or I would tell them, you throw the shit in the truck.
Yeah.
So, Scott, it's nothing personal. You know, I just want you to know, like, these guys are being forced to do this shit. So it's shitty. And because I'd hate to see a foreman have to write a summons because they're forcing him to. And then he winds up with 10,000 tickets on his lawn.
Yeah.
Or 10,000 bags of food waste.
Maybe I'll try to recycle. I don't know.
I mean, you should try to kick in.
I don't know if this
I recycle about 80%.
I don't know if this turned me yet.
But the food waste stuff is just a different animal.
Well, there isn't much food waste in my house. Okay, Jazzy? Let's just get straight to it. Okay? As you can tell, Jazzy, there isn't much food waste. It's all getting consumed. There's a lot of consumption, not a lot of waste.
A napkin. Look at his
the
arms.
Napkin, I eat the napkins.
He's got grease on his arm.
I use my shirt. Napkins.
Yeah, he dines out every night. But no, I hate to say it's going to be good. I do know people who do it. They do say they have less garbage going out.
Yeah.
They don't throw their garbage out as frequently. So that will be a thing.
There's two people living in the house. Different area.
No, but what I'm saying is when you throw compostable stuff, when you separate it all, you'll throw less stuff out. That's what I'm saying.
You're saying the garbage pail is going to be lighter.
The garbage will be lighter.
Well, that's because you moved it to the compost pail. It's still the same amount of
Yes, but it's not winding up in a landfill. That's the bigger thing.
Okay.
They don't want the stuff in landfills. And it's not our landfills anymore. You know? It's in Pennsylvania or wherever the fuck it is.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah. So, but that's the biggest thing. And that's what we wanted to get on here today, to pretty much just inform you of what's going on. It sucks that it's happening, but it's just a step to a greener world.
A greener world.
You didn't hear it in my voice.
Oh,
No, that wasn't good?
Wicked?
No, but
I don't know. Is that what that's on?
we're losing Kurt.
Yeah.
They packed him real tight today.
She packed me tight. I'm not going to lie.
But yeah, this is, this is just for an information. Hopefully this will get to everyone. Follow us, share it, make everybody see it, and hopefully we'll save the earth.
And just put that pail out so they don't
and
target you.
Earth Day is the 21st or the 22nd. 22nd. Earth Day. Everyone get together and get your compost together.
22nd?
And throw it in the street. Where it can sit and rot.
Back to the earth.
And animals can come and eat it. What, Earth Day?
Yeah.
There's an actual day for Earth. But y'all, thank you. Take care of yourselves, and remember, be nice to people. You never know what somebody's going through. Peace out.
What's up? Yeah. Get a load of this.